Hello everybody, this is Lorraine from Canada with a Verbling class for you at the intermediate level. This is a reading class and we're going to be looking at an environmental problem that is becoming more and more of a problem throughout the world, and that is the lack of fresh water, drinking water. In this particular class, we're going to be reading about a lake in Africa called Lake Chad, and this lake is shrinking at a very, very fast pace, and it's an environmental disaster for the people who live there because it is their source of fresh water for everything that we do, like all aspects of life. So I'm just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom, and we'll do the reading, answer some comprehension questions about the article, and then discuss the different environmental problems that we have in our own countries. So just waiting for people to come in, and I'll say hi as you do. We have Carolina. Hi, how are you doing today, Carolina?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Remind me, Carolina, where you're from?
I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Oh, very good. Are there environmental problems in Rio de Janeiro?
Yes.
Do you have lots of fresh water in Brazil?
Yes, still.
Yeah. In Canada, we also have a lot of fresh water. We're very fortunate that way, but there are some places where fresh water is really a problem, so it's interesting. And we have Martin. Hi, Martin. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine. Thank you.
Good.
What about you?
I'm good. I'm very good today.
Beautiful.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Remind me where you're from again, Martin?
I'm from Italy.
From Italy. Is there plenty of fresh water in Italy?
Yeah. We haven't this kind of problem.
That's good. Excellent.
To be honest, in this moment too, it's raining. So.
Yeah, in Canada we've been getting a lot of rain. Yeah, it's funny.
It's a little bit different in the southern Italy, but in my area, in my place, in the northern, very close to the border with Switzerland, we haven't this kind of problem. Absolutely no.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Oh, it's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hi, Alejandro. Welcome back.
Hello, teacher.
Are there any problems with lack of fresh water in the area where you are?
At the moment, there isn't any problem.
Okay, good. So we're all living in an area where we're fortunate. We don't have trouble with fresh water, but there are places in the world where it's a big, big issue. And we're going to read about Lake Chad. So I've posted the document in Verbling chat, and I'll put it in Google chat right now. There, we've got it. And I will share my screen share with you. Okay. So if you click on my icon, it will keep the screen share on the top. Okay. There. Okay. Everybody can see the screen share okay?
That's fine.
Good. Okay, so what do you know about this part of the world? So we're looking right into almost Central Africa in the country of Chad. Has anybody ever seen or heard anything about this area? Anyone? No. Hi Ismail, how are you today?
Hi Lorraine, I am fine. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome.
Thank you, Lorraine.
I've
I
missed
was
you.
on holiday.
Ah, where did you go?
I went to my home city.
And
It was on the coast of Marmara Sea.
did you visit family?
Yes, I visit my family and my family-in-law. Is that
Okay, good.
correct?
Yes. No. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would work. We don't really have a word for that, but that works. I understand you perfectly. So in this lesson, we're looking at Chad in pretty much Central Africa. What do you think the pressures are on the environment in this region? Anyone?
Drought
Yeah,
is a
drought.
problem.
It's a huge problem in this area. Drought, if they don't get the rains that they're supposed to get, then they have no other access to water. So it is very, very important that the rains come when they're supposed to. And if you take a look at the picture here, I have got a box, and I show you right here, this little patch of blue is Lake Chad. And this is the lake that we're going to be looking at in this lesson. So there it is. You can see there's very little water anywhere in this area. There's a river coming to and from the lake, but in Chad, it's really the only source of water is in this little region here. So big problem if your rains don't come. There's Lake Chad. Okay. Before we read, let's do the vocabulary. We'll define these different words so we understand them when we meet them in the article. Hi Anatoly, how are you today?
Hello, I'm fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Glad you could make it. All right, so let's start with Martin. Number 1, can you match up the word?
Yeah, paddle. Paddle should be. Just 1 second. Water left on the ground after rain.
Okay.
Letter
Exactly.
H.
Good.
Yeah.
Ishmael, number 2. Ishmael, are you there? Okay, Ishmael, we can't hear you for some reason. Okay, so Ishmael, you might want to reboot or re-enter or something because we can't hear you. Carolina?
Breeding. F. Reproduction in the animal world.
Exactly, good. Okay, Alejandro, the next word?
Plentiful. Sever sharp? No.
Plentiful.
Plentiful.
If you have...
a lot of...
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, good. Excellent. Okay. Oh, we've lost Anatoly and Ishmael. Too bad. Okay, Martin, the next one.
Yeah, glam. Glam is a synonymous of sad. Yeah, deep, sad, depressed.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Okay. Carolina?
To shrink. To be, letter B. To reduce in size.
Yes, good. Okay, Alejandro? the next word?
Dodo.
Yes. I don't blame you if you don't know this one.
The art of making pots, faces, etc.
No, that's a guess. It's a good guess, but a dodo was a bird, but we don't have them anymore. That's funny. I have my letters did some strange things here. So it's a famous extinct African bird. It was called a dodo bird. So I don't blame you if you don't know that one. This will be new for many people. A dodo is an extinct bird.
Okay.
Martin, number 7.
Yeah, pottery. The art of making pots, vases, etc.
Good. Okay. Carolina, 8.
Acute. Letter E. Silver and sharp.
Yes. Good. Anatoly, are you there? Unmute your microphone, Anatoly, so we can hear you.
Yes, yeah,
Good.
I'm here.
Are you having trouble staying in the class?
I received call from my parents through
okay.
Skype, and I
Yes,
had to.
I understand. Okay. Number 9.
To fend for oneself. For oneself, struggle with lives. Trouble persistently. Maybe I to trouble persistently, but I'm not sure.
No, the word fend, it means to take care of yourself.
Struggle without external help.
Exactly. Good. Very good. Okay, Alejandro. Oh, you always get the hard ones.
To be said, to travel persistently.
Yes, exactly. Good. Well done. Martin, the next one. I don't know. The numbering did strange things here.
Livelihood.
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 Yes.
Livelihood. Let's see. The financial means whereby one lives.
Yes, good. And Carolina, the last one.
Irrigation. Let us see. Use of water in agriculture.
Yes, very good. Are there any questions about any of this vocabulary? Okay. So, this is an article about a fisherman from Central Africa and the difficulties he faces due to an environmental problem. As you read through the article, underline the words from the previous exercise. Also, underline any other words you don't understand. You can ask your teacher about them afterwards. Well, we can't do the underlining, but we can read the articles. So let's start with Anatoly. Please read the title and down to would not go away.
The Shrinking Lake, Margaret Rotham. Ricky Baza has a very English name, but his parts of Central Africa is suffering from a problem that few in England would have to put up with. A lack of rain so acute that Ricky's livelihood is literally evaporating away. I would love to have the English weather here in chat. then the lake would not go away.
Good, thank you. So just this word here is evaporating.
Evaporating.
Right. So evaporating is when water just goes away. It evaporates. Okay. Are there any other questions about anything in that paragraph?
Put up with.
Okay, would have to put up with, meaning to withstand or endure.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
It's like to hold on.
Do you understand the word endure?
Endure? No.
Okay. It's a problem that few in England would have to experience.
Okay.
Okay. So it's more of like in, I use the word endure because that's the best example of it. But it's an experience that is not pleasant.
Okay.
Okay, so you put up with an experience that is not pleasant. You can't get away from it. You have to go through it, but you don't like it. Okay, good. So, Carolina, can you continue the paragraph, please?
Rizzi Baza lives in the town of Bull near the shores of Lake Chad, a lake that has shrunk by 19% in the last 40 years. A lack of rain is only one of the many culprits being blamed for this emergent disaster.
Okay, does everybody understand the word culprit?
No.
So a lack of rain is only one of the many things or many causes of the lake disappearing. So a lack of rain is one cause, and there are other causes or culprits. If anybody has any questions about the language in this, please just ask it, okay? Anatoly, can you do the next paragraph, please?
I am a fisherman. For me, it is like watching my life draining away every day. The fishing is getting worse and worse in the lake. They are getting smaller, and I think the fish breeding has been disrupted by the reduction in area and in depth. Lake Chad is only a meter deep in most places.
Okay, good. Alejandro, can you continue?
Okay. Ricky struggles now to provide enough food and income for his wife, Achta, and their 4 children. Achta has had to take up pottery in her spare time in order to try and boost the amount of money coming into the household every month.
Okay, good, thank you. So this word here is boost, boost. And it means to get more. So she needs to get a little more money coming into the household. So she's making pottery to get more income. Okay. And Akaken, hello, welcome.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Can you read the next paragraph, please, Akaken?
Okay. Our rent doesn't go down in with the level of the lake, unfortunately. Mabaza complains, "We still have 6 months to feed, but I need assistance from the government. They have left me to fend for myself in a desperate situation."
Good, thank you. Martin?
Yep. While one can understand Ricky Mbazam's frustration with his government, his accusatory tone is perhaps a little unfair. The Chad government has often seemed like a powerless, rudderless,
Rudderless.
rudderless boat caught in the storm of international politics.
Okay, good, thank you. So this powerless, rudderless boat. So we have a simile here. Does anybody know what a rudder is on a boat? What do you use a rudder for on a boat? Nobody? Okay, it's how you steer the boat. There is, on a sailboat, there is a thing at the back that goes down into the water. It's like a paddle. And when you turn it, it makes the boat turn this way or that way. It gives you control over the direction of the boat. If you don't have a rudder, you have no way of controlling the direction of a boat. So this government is like that. There's no control over anything that happens. It just happens and the government can't do anything about it. Are there any other questions? Okay, we'll continue reading then. Carolina?
Angela Moscovitz at the Center for African Politics at UCLA sees little reason for optimism in the case of the shrinking lake in the African heartland. The story of Chad Lake is a modern-day environmental tragedy. This is a body of water that in 1960 was over 55,000 kilometers in size now. It's less than 10% of that.
Okay, so this number is 25,000 square kilometers. When you have a 2 with the kilometers, usually it's a superscript. It's up here, but it means square. So 25,000 square kilometers. So it's very large. And now it's less than 10%. Amazing. Anatoly, can you continue?
It has been so overexploited, and it is an issue the whole international community, obviously more so those governments in Africa, needs to cooperate on to find a resolution. And that isn't going to happen anytime soon. By the time it does, they'll be arguing over a puddle in the middle of the desert. It's sad, but that's how I see things playing out.
Okay, very good. So, anything that anybody wonders about in that?
Panning out.
Okay, so it's sad, but that's how I see things happening in the future. So it's the way it's going to go in the future, panning out. Yeah, all these phrasal verbs.
A paddle?
Puddle.
Over a paddle in the middle of the
Okay.
desert.
Yes, puddle was one of the vocabulary words we looked at earlier.
Okay.
It's okay. It means that, you know, when it rains, if there is a little basin in the ground, it will fill with water. and then after a while the water will evaporate. That's called a puddle. So they're saying this lake is going to end up being a puddle, and it's just going to eventually evaporate away.
Panning out is a bad thing.
Can you repeat, please? Panning out?
It is always a bad thing.
No, it is just a way of describing how things are going to end up going.
Okay.
So it could be a good thing. I was so happy because all my planning panned out for the weekend, and we got to do what we wanted.
Okay.
So it just means how things go. Okay. Alejandro, can you continue reading, please?
The guilty parties, as so often in these cases, blame each other for the problems that now beset the lake. Charlie Vaughan, who teaches environmental science at Cambridge University in Britain, explains why the lake is going the way of the dodo. The main culprit is geography. Funnily enough, Chad, Nigeria, and Cameroon all lay claim to the waters of this lake, and you only need a 5-meter shoreline to be able to extract water from it.
Okay, we'll leave it there. You've done a lot of reading. Thank you so much. We'll let Aka Ken continue from here.
Okay, the whole area has been a target for massive irrigation schemes over the last couple of decades, with each country's agriculture ministry blaming the other three for the problems. In an area with plentiful rainfall, it wouldn't be so much of a problem. This is a dry area.
Okay, good. Thank you. Martin?
Yep. None of this gesturing and back-passing will help Ricky, Acta, and their 4 children in the near future. I'm learning how to fix cars. I don't think cars will be disappearing soon, and will certainly last longer than this lake will, muses the gloom-looking fisherman. There won't be any fishermen in this area in 10 years. And with that, he says he has to go and study how to remove and repair brake pads.
Okay, good. Any other questions about vocabulary here? There's lots of interesting things. Okay. So everyone understands what irrigation schemes are? A scheme is a plan. So they've made all these irrigation plans to take water to grow food, but they're taking more water than can be recovered in any given year. So they're shrinking the lake. Any other questions? All right. So one of the things when you're reading, when we do these questions and figure out if they're true or false, sometimes you won't know, because based on what you read in the article, it doesn't really tell you if that's so or not. So not just a true or false answer, you can also answer don't know. So we're going to put either T, F, or DK. Let's start with Akaken. Number 1. Ricky has spent some time traveling in England.
Ricky probably true.
But is it stated?
No.
No.
I just browsed the first part of this article, but yeah, it didn't. It is not stated.
Okay, so if it's not stated, then don't know. We really don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
DK.
Unless it actually says. Yeah, we can assume that he has spent time in England because he talks as if he knows something about England. So it is an assumption we make, but we don't know for sure. Okay, Alejandro, the lack of rain is not the only cause of the lake's reduction in size. True or false? Or don't know?
It's true.
That's true. Good. Number 3, Ricky's town, Bol, is further from the lake than it used to be. Anatoly?
Is farther from the lake. Near shores of Lake Chad. I think no. From this text we know that Ricky lives in the town of Bol near the shores of Lake Chad.
Okay.
But is it farther farther from the lake than it used to be? I'm not sure that we have this information.
So that's when we use the don't know.
Don't know.
Right, because we can think that if Bol is beside Lake Chad and Lake Chad is shrinking, we can make an assumption that Bol is now further from the lake than it used to be because the lake is getting smaller and smaller. But we don't know because it doesn't say in the article.
And also the city could grow.
And that's possible, exactly, yeah. Maybe as the lake shrinks away, they move closer to the lake. Yeah, that's quite possible. Okay, Antonio, hi, welcome. Welcome to the class.
Hello, thank you.
Okay, have you read the article? Antonio, did you read the article for this? Okay, would you like to answer question 4? Lake Chad's disappearance is causing financial pressures for Ricky's family. True, false, or you don't know?
Okay. Yes, I'm reading the text, the part C.
Antonio, I'll come back to you with the next question, okay? It will give you time to read.
Okay.
Carolina, can you answer number 4?
Lake Chad's disappearance is causing financial pressures for Rick's family. I think that is true because her wife is working on her spare time.
Yeah, good. So it is true. Okay, Martin, number 5. Ricky feels the government should help him more.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I think so too.
This is true, yeah.
Good. Okay, Antonio, number 6. Angela Muscovite wants the Chad government to save the lake.
Angela Muscovite want the Chad government save the lake. Okay. The settlers is like yes, I suppose it's true. Or no?
You're telling me. I'll show you the answer. Here it is. It's false.
False.
Okay, so let's take a look at the text and find out why that's false. Okay. So where it says Angela Muscovite at the Center for African Politics sees little reason for optimism. So it's not something that she says anything about. All we know about her is that she sees little reason for optimism. And that it's not just the government that has the power to do anything.
Yeah.
That everybody needs to cooperate in order for this problem to be solved. So she doesn't think just the government can save the lake. That's why it's false. All right. Akaken, number 7. She thinks action will come too late to save the lake.
Maybe article don't say anything about too late, but it's urgent issue. So, DK, don't know.
Okay, let's take a look.
Seems like
oops.
It's too late, but true or where does it?
I don't know. We'll have to take a look. I have to look too. Okay, it's been so overexploded, and it's an issue the whole international community, obviously more so those governments in Africa, need to cooperate on to find a resolution. And that isn't going to happen anytime soon. By the time it does, so she's figuring there is going to be a resolution. They'll be arguing over a puddle in the middle of the desert. So the question was, she thinks action will come too late to save the lake. So that's true. The action's going to come too late to save the lake. They'll be arguing over a puddle by that time. Okay. All right, number 8 for Alejandro. Charlie Vaughan says permission to extract water is given too easily. True, false, or you don't know?
According to the article, it's true.
Okay. Whoops, it says false. Let's take a look. I would have thought true too. I thought the same as you. So Charlie Vaughan, okay, explains why the lake is going there. The main culprit is geography. So he's saying it's geography and not the I think that the key is wrong. I think you're right. It's true. Charlie Vaughan says permission to extract water is given too easily. According to this article, I think that's true. The main culprit is geography, funnily enough. Chad, Niger, Nigeria, and Cameroon all lay claim to the waters of this lake, and you only need a 5-meter shoreline to be able to extract water from the lake. Okay. I think that that's saying that he thinks it's too easy to get permission. You should need more than 5 meters. So I think my key is wrong, and Alejandro, I think you're right.
In this case, there is only easy to extract water, but in the test, I don't see any kind of license or something. The article only says that it's easy to extract water.
Yes. And that's why I think my key that says this is false, I think that's wrong. I think number 8 should be true.
True?
Yeah, Charlie Bond says permission to extract water is given too easily.
But the article says something about a permission.
It says you only need a 5-meter shoreline to be able to extract water from it.
Yes, it's easy to extract water, but it doesn't have to do with permission or not.
Well, the permission comes when you have a 5-meter shoreline.
Okay.
You get permission to extract the water.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the shoreline should be more like 100 meters before you're allowed to extract water from it. So a 5-meter shoreline is too easy to get permission.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, that's a point of contention. Sometimes it's difficult because we extrapolate a lot about what the article says. Number 9, I don't know whose turn it is now. Anatoly?
Okay, the demands of agriculture have been largely responsible for the lake's problem. I think don't know.
Yeah. Oh, no, it says true.
Oh.
The demands of agriculture have been largely responsible for the lake's problem. Well, I guess because, where does it say? They've all got these massive irrigation plans, these schemes for irrigation, which is to grow their food.
Yes.
Where is that?
Understandable.
Okay. All right. And the last one for Antonio, Ricky will work in a garage when the fishing becomes too bad. True or false?
Well, exactly in a garage, I don't know, but I think it's true because he's learning to fix car. Yeah, I think it's true.
Yeah, I would say it's true, but it also could be I don't know. We're assuming he's going to work in a garage because he's taking this course. But I don't think it actually says there that he will be working in a garage. We're just making an assumption about that because that's what he's learning. So we have to be very careful about what actually is said and what we make assumptions about. So they're hard. Okay, so I want to just now have a discussion. I want to discuss any kind of environmental problem that you see in your country. So tell us what the problem is, how it affects your country, if it affects you personally, what's being done about it, and what you think should be done about it. So I'm going to start off. In Canada, we have a lot of fresh water, but there are places where we do so much agriculture, and the fertilizers flow into our streams and go into our lakes and then cause all kinds of problems with the water quality. So right now one of our Great Lakes, called Lake Erie, it has algae growing in it that is very, very toxic. And people who normally take their water from that lake aren't allowed to drink the water or wash themselves in the water. You can't even boil the water to make it drinkable. So there are towns around Lake Erie who have lots of water that's completely contaminated. And I was just reading about what they're doing about it, and it's hard because it is on the border of Canada and the US. So all of the people from two countries have to agree on how to fix this problem, and they can't. So it's a real problem. So that's what's going on in Canada. It doesn't affect me personally, but it could, because this can happen to all of the lakes. Anatoly, is there any problem in your country, an environmental problem? It doesn't have to be water, any other kind of problem too.
The first which came to my mind is fresh air in the Moscow, because it is a very big city, and traffic jam is so heavy that it is a real problem for environmental, and I think we need to use more clean equipment for car. Power, the power system inside car, which could less pollution.
Okay. Are there any
more
laws?
High standards? More high standards.
Yeah.
High standards.
Are is your government looking at bringing in tougher emission laws for cars, that the car companies need to make cleaner cars?
I think we need more regulation in that area.
Okay. All right, good. And how does it affect you, or does it? Do you live in Moscow?
It is affect every citizen of who inhabitants of Moscow,
right?
Because we inhale this air,
right?
And only when I do my exercises on the bicycle, I choose usually early morning because it's the air more fresher.
Yeah, before there's too much traffic. Okay, good, thank you. Antonio, what about in your country? Is there an environmental problem?
Well, yes, and furthermore, in the part where I lived in the south, because people think or thought in the climatic change, the problems with the place hotter and other place without or more color. We live in a zone with ¿cómo se llama esto? Do you know? I know in English the word is a greenhouse.
Yes.
A greenhouse. Yes.
Yes.
I live in a zone where the main motor of economy is the greenhouse. Then if there a big change, climatic change, we can have a really big problem. Then this is the main problem here where I live.
Okay, so it's climate change. Is there anything being done about it by your government? Are there any regulations that they're...
Yes, here maybe yes is give incentivo incentive the
Incentive,
government give incentive the green green energy.
Okay, yeah,
The
so
solar
people are using
and
solar and wind?
yes, solar and wind.
Yeah.
It's called in English green energy?
Green energy, yes,
Or
that's
no?
right.
Or
Green
freeze.
energy.
Okay.
You're
Green
right.
energy.
Yeah, good. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
Carolina, what about in your country?
I think one of the problems here in Brazil is the deforestation.
Deforestation?
Deforestation,
Okay.
because many people do it without a license, and it for agriculture industries, speculation, and I think the deforestation affects our environment because it affects the climate, the climate,
Right.
the
Climate, yes.
climate, the supply of water too,
Right.
and I think the government do not do something more regular about it. I think it is must do it more often.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, deforestation. I've heard about that in Brazil. But they're cutting down the trees to provide farmland, aren't they, for grazing cattle and doing other things?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mostly for agriculture.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Martin, what about where you are?
My country in Italy, first of all, we have a really bad economic situation, so nobody has money, first of all, the government. And I'd like to talk about the power that comes from the sun, which is the photovoltaic power. Yeah, as I said, due to a financial problem, so the government cannot give to the people contribution and what's the other word? Contribution to the people, so the people cannot create new solar plants on the top of their houses.
Right.
This is really sad because the photovoltaic power, the power that comes from the sun, is a green energy, no pollution.
Oh yeah.
And the government should, in my opinion, should think in a long-term perspective.
Right.
So just pull out the money now in order to save the money in the future.
Yeah, that's difficult if you don't have any money, I guess.
Maybe ask the money from Germany or from another place.
Yeah, that's when they get into trouble, though, when you start, looking to the IMF to fund things, and the next thing you know, they're selling off all of your
monuments,
your attributes,
all your
assets.
Our skills.
Like poor Greece. Yeah, it's a problem. Like even environmentally, I think being in an area that's having trouble economically, they do things with their environment. They don't protect the environment. They allow I don't know, mining and cutting down of the forest, anything to get money. But it's such short-term thinking, because once all of your assets are gone, when all of the trees are cut down and all of the the gold in your ground is gone, then what? You know,
Yeah.
and you still
New
have a
generation.
problem.
New generation will be in trouble.
Yeah, really.
Sure. For
And
sure.
we have Ricardo with us. Hi, Ricardo.
Yes, I am from Italy.
Okay, another person from
Yeah.
Italy. And what do you see as environmental problems in Italy?
I don't think we have a very important problem on environment. We have more problems about financial economics, etc. But we have a very good environment. I don't
So you're
think
in.
we have big problems.
So there aren't any problems even in small parts of Italy? The one environmental problem I can think of in Italy right now is the rising oceans,
Maybe,
which are sinking Venice.
maybe we don't have the clean city. We have a lot on the trash for the street.
Yes, okay, so maybe problems of where to put the trash.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But what about Venice?
What about?
What about the city Venezia?
It's beautiful.
It is, but the water is coming up and up and up and up, and the buildings are sinking. This is a problem.
We have to find out a way to make waterproof the monuments and
Yes.
the houses.
Yeah, but that is an environmental issue that is affecting Italy, but it isn't Italy's responsibility. It's the oceans are getting bigger, so there's more water, and it could be from climate change, which is making the world warmer. So yeah, then we have problems with.
We have to ask advice from the Dutch people.
Yeah. How to make
water out of our land.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Maybe ask some money too.
Yeah, money, and how do you stem the flow? Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for this class. I hope it's been useful, and I hope to see you all in another class soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.